How's everybody doing? Well, today we have another session, and this one, oh, look, my colors are crooked. I don't know why they be crooked like that. And now we have a different type of energy. Here now we have Saturn in Capricorn, cardinal Earth. Here, Saturn is comfortable. Saturn is at home here. Love you more. Love you more. Now, everybody, understand that with Saturn in Capricorn, oh, I love you. Oh, yes, please. Don't forget. And here we have a mimosa by Sutter Home Wines. Again, I'm not supposed to be advertising, but I like what I drink. Now, we have Saturn and Capricorn. Saturn, oh, by the way, a couple of announcements before I begin. There's a lot of you, first of all, Malika Lewis, you've paid for a birth chart. A lot of people pay for birth charts and don't get back to me. You send me all this money for a birth chart and don't get back to me. And I got like, what's going on? So, Mr. or Mrs. Lewis, you send me a payment on the 29th at 12:15 a.m. or 12:56 a.m. I'm still waiting to hear from you to begin your chart. Okay? So, I'm putting that out there. And for the rest of you that are my returning and my recurring subscribers who have asked and requested for a birth chart, finally I've been able to put a staff together. This pandemic has really hurt the organization because we have been cut down and downsized in staffing. And as you know, I got over 40,000 subscribers on YouTube and millions on my other websites. It's a lot to manage. So I'm doing a bi-weekly schedule of all of my subscribers who have been doing charts and managing it in a bi-weekly fashion for my new ones and my returning clients. Because remember, the service is for an entire year. That covers me legally. And it also awards you time to get some information, think about it, chew on it, reflect upon it, and come back. So it helps both parties. Okay? So please bear with me with the scheduling. But so far, so good. So far, everything has been going pretty well. Now, I hope you're all right. Jupiter in or Saturn in Sagittarius. Now we're going to talk about yeah, Pacheco got yeah, I like okay. All right. Guys, so now understand that when you're born with Saturn in Capricorn, you have reached a certain level of maturity, a certain level of acumen, being dressed with a suit, savvy, with the most expensive Rolex watches on the planet, with the most lavish rings, with a suit that costs $10,000, and my shades, which are about $800. This is the epitome of cardinal Earth, Saturn in Capricorn, the ultimate epiphany of earthly power. I hope all of you who have Saturn in Capricorn have a lot of plans to do with your money, because it's wonderful to be wealthy. It's wonderful not to have a care in the world about any finances. And that should be where you should be at. But that's not going to happen right away. And it's not going to happen by you being in your 20s. This is not going to happen by you being in your 20s, or your 30s, or your 40s. This type of wealth, old money versus new money, comes with age and experience. In your 60s, and as you get older, you'll have more money and be more solid, respected, and honored. You take your position in society among the greats. This is Saturn in Capricorn, cardinal Earth. Oh, the beat. Here, you get to party. The party that begins in Jupiter trickles down to the devil. And the devil can make it far more fun than Lord Jupiter. Saturn in Capricorn, the epiphany, and the zenith of success and power, earthly power. Understand that when you are born with Saturn in Capricorn, there are two dichotomies that are going on. Again, Shambhala and Agartha, and the war continues. El Paso, Pacheco, sí, te invito a bailar. Saturn in Capricorn. Understand that if you are born with Saturn in Capricorn, you are sophisticated, savvy, metrosexual, avant-garde. Money is important to you. But more important to you than money is respect and status and position. That can open more doors than any kind of money you may have in your bank account. Of course, the more access you have, because with Saturn in Capricorn, it's not about money. Money becomes a secondary thing. The primary objective when you're born with Saturn in Capricorn is to establish credibility, to establish trust, and establish a work ethic that people can respect. Saturn in Capricorn. Oh, the bee. Understand that, like Jupiter, Saturn in Capricorn can be very hedonistic. Very, very concerned and directed in material pursuits, material gain, and material control. Also understand that with Saturn in Capricorn, there are ethical laws, moral laws that are strictly and exclusively Saturnian in nature, very different than those with Jupiter. You can connect with me by calling me for a birth chart reading or a tarot reading at 347-485-6258, or emailing me at fernando.prudhomme at gmail or at yahoo.com. Oh, a caballo, a caballo. Saturn in Capricorn rules midlife. By the time you reach Saturn in Capricorn, you should be in your 50s, in your 60s. You are approaching your second Saturn return. Here, you should be at this portion of your life, or at this stage in your life, you should be financially successful. You should have a name for yourself. And you should be an expert at your job, at your chosen profession, where no one can do what you do. No one can reach the level of proficiency or acumen that you possess in your chosen field. Understand that Saturn and Capricorn rules the 10th house, the house of the career. And it is also the report card that you get from society, letting you know how well you have been doing. So, to have Saturn in Capricorn, again, talking from one of the two fronts I mentioned earlier, suggests that you have arrived. You have arrived. This is your time. Now, let me tell you, those of you who are born with Saturn and Capricorn have not had an easy life. Life can be tough, downright nitty-gritty, roughneck. But understand that, remember that movie G.I. Jane, played by Demi Moore? It came out in the 90s or in the 2000s, from 2010, 2005, 2008, I'm not sure. G.I. Jane, Demi Moore, of course, played G.I. Jane. You need to watch that movie. That movie epitomizes Saturn in Capricorn. Another one was, what was that movie about the guy in the army that they try to break him down? They try to break him down. I forgot. It was an Asian movie with an American actor in it. I forgot the name of it. Where they try to break him down. Those guys, An Officer and a Gentleman, with Richard Gere and Lou Gossett Jr. in the 1980s. That's another Saturn in Capricorn. Well, Richard Gere was almost torn down by Lou Gossett Jr., who represented Saturn in Capricorn, and taught him severe training and discipline. But it made a soldier out of the cadet, which was played by Richard Gere. So please understand, thank you, yes. It's from Milan, of course. So understand that you have a particular set of goals when you're born with Saturn in Capricorn. And they are completely, thank you, and it is particularly focused on material mastery. Material mastery. Without that material mastery, you ain't shit. Saturn in Capricorn. One second. So, how does the Saturn in Capricorn, how is that energy useful? Well, here are the pros and cons. If you're below age 30, Saturn in Capricorn doesn't do much good for you. Don't be surprised that if you have difficulty growing up, oh, que sale a comer cuyo. I can't help it. I try to be stern and very Capricornish, but that Jupiter and that Venus in Leo makes me go. Saturn in Capricorn means business. It's serious business. No nonsense here with Saturn in Capricorn. You're here to do a job, and you're here to do it well. Saturn in Capricorn. Don't fuck with Capricorn. He's gonna demand of you. And nothing but perfection is required. No bitching, no whining. Get the job done. When you're born with Saturn and Capricorn, you are bombarded with responsibilities that you could give a shit about, but you still gotta do it. You gotta uphold the dignity of getting shit done. This is the epitome of Saturn and his dignified position in Capricorn. That Leo comes out. Music is very important to us Leos. So understand that understand. I know everything got a match. Oh, let me save this minute. Understand that with Saturn and Capricorn, you can have a lot of fun. Ain't nothing wrong with having some fun and enjoying the fruits of your labor. The earth is pregnant with all kinds of beautiful opportunities. See, you have to understand your position in the grand scheme of things. With Saturn in Capricorn, things are pretty black and white. You're here. Oh, thank you. You are supposed to, when you reach Saturn in Capricorn, make a stand. Make a stand of what's right and what's wrong. Also, talking on a more esoteric level, on a more mundane level, Saturn in Capricorn gives you time to reach your goals, to harness and discipline your demeanor, your comportment, your sense of self, in order to get you to the platform. I would love to be in a blockbuster movie one day. I love that. Thank you. You put that out there in the universe. Understand that with Saturn in Capricorn, the level of responsibility is so great that there's a level of profound sadness and depression that can creep in the personality if they don't see themselves approaching the goals that they set themselves out to accomplish. And this can be very dangerous because if you don't have the confidence to get you to the next level, then there's no way that you're going to reach the epiphany of success and therefore enjoy the sweet nectar of the gods by great works that have been accomplished and the reward that is given to you, the milk and the honey. Oh, so understand that there is a moral and ethical responsibility, not so much towards your fellow human being, even though that really does, it really does mean that. But that cannot truly happen unless you develop that for yourself first. You will have to develop a sense of virtue and dignity, self-worth, self-respect, that you believe about yourself and trust about yourself. When you reach that level of emotional, psychological, and spiritual revelation of your own inner beauty and divine connection to the Creator, then and only then are you capable or even qualified to offer that to your fellow human beings. But if you don't feel that way about yourself, there's no way that you can award that to anybody else. Saturn in Capricorn. Toma el agua del suavecito, toma el agua del suavecito, toma el agua del suavecito, toma el agua del suavecito. It just grabs me. It's not my fault. You don't know that. But I still keep it real and I stay on course. You're just turning 29, you're 31. Ay, toma. El agua del cabello, ay, toma. You should celebrate. Ay, toma. You are in a perfect position. Ay, toma. Listen, you are at the height of your life right now. 29, 31. Here is where the wheat is separated from the chaff. What are you going to do to advance yourself forward? Because Saturn in Capricorn awards us the ability to take our time to get to the goal. If you're age 30, then you are at your Saturn return. 29, 30, and what you do now is going to determine what's going to transpire in the next 30 years. So it's very important, almost critical that you understand where you are heading and what you want and actually iron it out, write it out, because it's going to come out exactly the way you propose it to be. The only demon here is that you cannot have self-doubt. If you have self-doubt, then you're fucking up. You cannot have Saturn in Capricorn and doubt yourself. The devil, the archons, remember the voice of the ego, the archons, they're going to tell you shit so you don't trust your own instincts. This is one of the challenges of having Saturn in Capricorn, is that you are going to be tested. And you need to be quite sure and confident that you are capable of doing what you profess to be able to do. You cannot fake this. Now with Saturn in Capricorn. Ladies and gentlemen, donate for content. www.paypal.me/the people's astrologer. Or you can come in for a chart reading. 347-485-6258. Guys, it is now at 6:49 in the morning. As you can see, the sun is rising, and we are going to continue with Saturn in Aquarius.
Like, share, and subscribe.
Thank you, guys.
Remind them.
We're ending. Oh, we are ending